Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Bashem Rakah Kodash. My name is Yakalba from Plaintables Camp in Philly. You know, both sides are using propaganda, you know, to further their point. I guess the Russians are accused of that, the Germans are accused of that, but America, they use it just as much, if not more, than those nations. Propaganda says information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. He was charged with distributing enemy with propaganda. All right. So there's a lot of deception taking place, you know, on both sides. But we're going to stick on the Ukrainian side. All right. From my understanding, they're the same people. They're just split apart, Russia and Ukraine. But so the Ukrainian language is like a different dialect, or you can say a different language. All right, but they're very similar. All right, you're looking for Vladimir. All right, short you would just say Vlad. All right, with Vladimir in Russian, and to convert it to Ukrainian, it'll be Volodymyr. All right, it's the same word. All right, now the president of Ukraine is
Volodymyr.
Volodymyr. All right, they're the same word. All right, just in a different language. All right, their languages are very close. All right, because let's see, let's just reverse it. So in Ukrainian, Volodymyr. So how do you say Volodymyr in Russian? You say Vladimir. All right, so they're the same word. All right, these two languages are derivatives. I believe Ukrainian language is derivative of Russian. All right, it evolved or devolved, or was a certain dialect certain people were speaking, and then this particular people in this area started speaking that language. You know, it's the evolution of certain languages or de-evolution. All right. Like Latin, you know. English is, I believe, is a derivative of Latin. Spanish is a derivative of Latin, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So it came, meaning it came from it. All right. So that's that. So the man's name is Vladimir Zelensky. All right. That's the point. All right. And they kind of try to avoid saying that, but I did hear one news report say his name, Volodymyr.
Volodymyr.
Volodymyr. All right, it's the same as Vladimir in Ukrainian. All right, so they use it, I believe they call it Slavic characters, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm not an expert on the language, but here we go. So the point is, for this lesson, you know, he used to be an actor. All right, February 27th, 2022. Watch when Ukrainian Vladimir Zelensky was a comic. Old video goes viral as he battles Russia. Let me see what they say in the comments. There are two types of prime ministers in the world: a comedian who became a leader, and leaders who became comedians. Okay. He literally acted in a show showing him as a teacher becoming the Ukrainian president, and there he is now. So he's a puppet for, you know, the NATO and EU powers against Russia for now. But as it's prophesied, the European powers are going to turn against the whore, which is Babylon, America. All right, let's watch this video play. I really need a sound. So.
І закриваємо Росію від цивілізованого світу. Наше національне
Right, just like Ronald Reagan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm sure there had been others that all of a sudden wanted to go into politics, and you know they're puppets. They didn't do this on their own. They have they're being backed by the powers that be. All right, Zelensky is no different. All right, so that's that. So the point is, he's an actor. I don't know about the Kiev, who's in control of Kiev right now, the capital of Ukraine. All right. The point's been made. He was an actor. He's being used as a puppet. So it's Isaiah 47:1 says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne." Saying that great confusion eventually is going to come across Babylon, America. All right. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So here I'm focused on how wise these the Neo-Babylonians are. All right, or the because America in the Bible is known as Babylon. All right, it's not referring to the old Babylonians. It's referring to the new Babylonians, all right, which are the Edomites. All right, we look up Chaldeans. All right, it says those persons considered the wisest in the land. All right, those considered the wisest in the land. Chaldeans as learned class, skilled in interpretations. All right, so these are referring to so-called American Edomites. All right. So now it's being uncovered. It says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." All right. So eventually, when the Lord returns, he's going to return to destroy Babylon. All right. But this virgin daughter of Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, is referring to America. Or it's not referring to old Babylon. Or it's not referring to the Vatican or China. All right. Take the millstone, grind the mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. All right. Because America's wickedness is hidden. All right. Because they still proclaim to be righteous and pious, and everything is justified. The openness of the Russians and the evilness of the Germans, everybody already agrees on that. Like the Nazi party was wicked. Everybody agrees on that. The Russians are evil, and they just attacked Ukraine with no provocation, which is a lie, by the way. They were provoked because of NATO positioning their weapons closer to Russia. All right, I learned of something called mutually assured destruction. What that actually meant, it means that it's only mutually assured if there's, I say, a reasonable, you can determine what's reasonable, amount of time for both sides' missiles to hit each other. All right. If both sides' missiles, let's say it takes 15 minutes to hit each other on both sides, all right, that's mutually assured. But if one side has their nuclear arsenal very close and it only takes, let's say, 4 minutes, and the other guys would take 15 minutes, that's considered, that's not mutually assured destruction. All right. You kind of want to have the missiles kind of even, which is not really going to be even, but, having it really that close in Ukraine, the Russians, they can't, they're not going to allow it. All right, so doesn't seem like they're going to stop. All right, because I think they probably would put missiles closer, in on the borders of Ukraine or in Ukraine or farther, in the east, if Russia didn't attack, which they say unprovoked. All right, that's one thing I heard, and it makes sense. All right. So America, Babylon, all right, the daughter of Babylon is being exposed for all their wickedness, all right, to the other nations in the world and to the children of Israel, all right. But overall, they're still looked at as pious and righteous by certain nations, all right. But the nations that they're destroying, they can clearly see that they're evil, all right. They're benefiting off of the destruction of other nations. So America's being revealed. All right. It's becoming a consensus that the wickedness that the U.S. or the daughter, the virgin daughter of Babylon has been doing. All right, so it's Habakkuk 2:5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, meaning not home. He's a proud man. Proud man. We looked it up, means a warrior. All right, not just a man, a warrior. So this nation would have to be sufficient in modern warfare. Who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth into him all nations, and heapeth into him all peoples. So he's a proud man, says Gabar. He's a warrior, man, a warrior, strength. All right. Strong man, warrior. All right. So now that we know that he's a puppet being backed by the wisest men on the earth. All right, and they have their think tanks, their teams together. Not just the Americans. They got the Germans, British, and different European powers. They get together and they come up with plans. And they came up to install Vladimir Zelensky.
Володимир.
All right, that's how you say it in Ukrainian.
Владимир.
And that's how you say his name in Russian. All right, and they can speak each other's languages. It's like, I want to say like Mexican Spanish and Spanish from Spain, maybe more differences, but it's similar. I haven't seen any language barriers from any of the videos I've seen when the Ukrainians is rolling up the Russians, cussing them out. All right. Let's see. All right, that's it there. And here we go. It says, and eventually, what? Just like in a song, you have to have a beginning, all right, maybe some motifs, a climax, and then the depression, and then it'll climax again and end. All right, so that's how it's all these wars. Before we have war breaks out, then it depresses, then it breaks out again, or some calamity, or some bomb goes off, or some plane is shot down. But eventually, it's going to lead to the Third World War. It says, in the midst of that Third World War, all right, the first world countries are going to declare martial law because of something's going to happen. All right, they declared martial law in Ukraine. They had a curfew. I'm hearing people getting shot. I'm seeing a video of somebody getting shot. That's only one thing. I'm sure people were getting kidnapped. Raped. All right, so that's what happens when you declare martial law. When resources are scarce, when there's fears of air raids. All right, it's going to be confusion. Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, or for the Israelites. All right, he's going to secure the Israelites that are written in the book, and there shall be a time of trouble. All right. So this time of trouble that's coming is what? Martial law, famines, all right, summary executions, imprisonments. All right, this is not a time where you want to be by yourself, where you want to be independent, be a lone wolf. All right. Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. All right. So not everybody's going to be in that book. All right. Only the elect are going to be in the book. All right. That's my last scripture here. It's Jude 1:14. All right. Because Michael is going to secure the elect of Israel. All right. So this is Jude 1:14, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, "Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him." All right. So, well, you got the heathen, and you got 2/3 of Israel, who, when the Lord returns, is going to execute his judgment. All right. It said upon all. All right. We're going to look up ungodly. This is why I chose the scripture. And of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. All right. Ungodly. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lust, and their mouth speaking great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. All right, you got our people. They cleave onto the flesh, onto what they can see right now in front of their face, instead of what's going to be in the future. Because as it's written, the things that are not seen are greater than the things which are seen. All right. So we're gonna look up ungodly. Do I have ungodly already? Yeah. I have it up. We got Esebes or Esebes. All right. Esebes. Devout worship. So A means not in Greek. You put A in front of it. Or alpha. Sebes. It means negative. Part means not. Sebus means worship. Devout, religious means bind it to. Irreverent, ungodly, impious. All right, destitute of reveneral, all. I think I looked that word up. Let's let them say it.
Reverential.
Reverential. There we go. Reverential. Destitute of reverential awe. There we go. Toward the Most High, condemning the Most High, impious. Like impious or wicked, ungodly man. All right. Scripture again. It says, to execute judgment upon all that are ungodly and have ungodly deeds. So if you don't fear, let's see, reverential, I mean reverence, a feeling or attitude of deep respect, tinged with awe, ting. It calls to make high, clear, rounding sound. Tinged with awe, veneration, outward manifestation of a feeling. All right. Deep respect, obedience. Treated with respect. Tinged with awe. Tinged with awe. All right. So that's how we got to be in our respective offices. Whatever our work is, we got to worship that. All right. It's we worship Yahweh the Father, Yahweh Shai the Son. All right. Worship Yahweh Shai the Son. All right, to bring us to the Father, Yahweh. All right. To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. All right. So when the Lord returns, he's going to put the judgment out. All right, some of them they're going to put to death, and some of them going into slavery. All right. Some of them going to be beaten. All right. It's the Lord's will. All right. So that's the judgment that's going to take place So I hope you edified. Shalom.